Baby cakes! Wowzers, I have had the most emotional 3 weeks of my entire life. I have felt every emotion you can think of. All the good ones, all the bad ones, all the ones in between. 1 minute I'm waltzing around the house, jumping around, feeling like I've genuinely won the lottery, feeling this sense of complete elation. And the next I'm in bed trying to not cry because I'm so sad.
What's it been like living with me for the past 3 weeks?
You're just not in the room. Not in the room. Even when I'm like, are you in the room? Are you in the room? You're not in the room. You're still not in the room.
Yeah, I'm still in the room.
No.
It's all I think about. I'm obsessed. I have wanted to make this video for a while now. I wanted to talk about a subject which I'm really interested in, which surprisingly not many people know about. And the thing I'm talking about that not many people have heard of is the NFT.
No.
No.
No. No. No. National Front Trust. No.
Nearly.
NFT. No.
I don't know.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
NFT. NFT. No.
No. I think so. No.
No.
I've heard of it, but I couldn't define it for you.
An NFT, which stands for a non-fungible token, is a unique set of data-employing technology that allows digital content, from video to songs to images, to become logged in or authenticated on crypto.
And this is exactly the problem, you see. It's just not a very sexy sounding thing, is it? Non-fungible token. Fungible. How's fungible even a word? It sounds like some sort of venereal disease. So what I'm going to try and do in this video is give it a bit of sex. Sex that fungible token up a little bit so you can really understand the power and the gravity that this utility has in Web3. That was my mission. Anyway, that's what I set out to do. But then something happened while I was making this video, which fucking destroyed my life. I feel like I'm riding some crazy wave and it's super fun. But yeah, I hope it doesn't crash and burn. Well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that soon. But first of all, let's dive a little deeper on what exactly an NFT is, what it's for, how it works, and how important it's going to be in all of our lives in the future.
Yeah, I was about to do the same thing with the power. You could get the power to 3D.
Yeah, so I got it.
The thing is that it's like, it might be a big...
Everything seemed calm at first, but then this guy in a suit shows up talking about investment opportunities. Next thing you know, these people over here started chanting, hodl, hodl, and their NFTs started mooning, and then these guys over here started saying those guys right there right-clicked them and called for a pump and dump, which made these guys beat the living hell out of anyone who said it was just FOMO and died screaming that it was the flippening. Luckily, I came out of it okay. I got this little miniature donkey with a lit-up sombrero.
So before I had kids and I had a disposable income, I bought myself this. This is an original Quentin Blake of the Grand High Witch. But is it? I have a receipt for it in here somewhere, but how do I even know that the receipt is genuine? Receipts are easily forged. I'm just basically going on trust. I'm trusting that the gallery didn't lie to me. And that's the difference between an NFT. An NFT can prove beyond all reasonable doubt that you, and only you, are the sole owner of that digital asset. And that's all thanks to something they call the blockchain. Let's take a look at the blockchain. So here's how it works. Person A wants to send something to person B. The transaction is represented as a block, and within that block contains certain hashes and information. And that block is then verified by lots of other nodes or other computers that are in the network. Once all of those nodes or computers are verified that it's authentic, it gets added to the blockchain. And then person B can grab it off the blockchain. So that's kind of roughly how it works. We know what an NFT is now, we know what a blockchain is and how that works, but you're probably thinking, Stef, why should I care about this? Like, why do I need to know? You need to know about it because of something that's going to change your life in a massive way. And that thing is called Web3. Before we talk any more about Web3, I just want to quickly go back and look at Web1, if only just to see how far we've come.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet, cyberspace, set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
Having the internet in our home has had a great impact on our lives. Rich keeps up with the stock market and our investments.
I don't think that's what Rich is doing on the internet, my darling.
And the kids are improving in their grades and communication skills.
Which makes me happy, as I would sure like them to go to college someday.
Could they not have got actors in that don't have vacant eyes of a milk cow?
And it's not just for boys either.
Oh, not just for boys either. Couldn't get away with that these days.
You'll learn how the net can entertain you and take you to far-off locations.
Far-off locations, dark locations. I can see it in your eyes. Shark eyes. This whole family, they've got dead eyes. What's wrong with them?
And at the end of the tape, I'll be back to tell you how to safeguard your computer so that you can reduce your concerns about the kinds of websites your children can visit. You never can be too careful.
The dad's like, yeah. Oh, Jesus.
So let's get underway.
Yeah.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
You could only really passively interact with it. You could kind of read stuff and that was it. But it was still really interesting because you basically had this whole massive library just suddenly delivered to your house where you could just access all this information. But that was really it. It was quite a passive interaction. And then came along Web 2. And Web 2 was more of a kind of like an interactive version of the web where you could post videos and podcasts and you download apps and write articles, and well, it just basically gave us this more of a textured relationship with the internet. It also killed our web design agency because people no longer needed web designers anymore. While Web 1 was happening, you needed web designers to build your website, but then when Web 2 came along and all these sites like Squarespace came out, people started to build these websites on their kitchen table. They didn't need us anymore. It put us out of business. Thanks, Squarespace. You owe me. You owe me. Give me some freaking work, man. You're working with everybody else. Why aren't you working with us? I've never done a Squarespace ad. I'm perfect for it. So that's where we're at now. But we're about to transition into something far more interesting. Web 3. Before we talk any more about Web 3, I would like to introduce you to a very good friend of mine I've known for many, many years. And about 6 years ago now, he set up his own crypto fund and now manages hundreds of millions of pounds worth of crypto assets for clients across the globe. He's very successful. He's also the owner of a CryptoPunk, one of these little guys, which are worth ungodly sums. I want him to explain to you why he believes NFTs are such an important part of Web 3 and why he thinks owning a CryptoPunk, well, is a good idea. Unfortunately, I can't tell you his name and I can't show you his face, but I'll let him explain why that is.
Why do people want to hide their identity? Because everything in crypto is about self-sovereignty, true ownership of your assets and therefore control. And with that control comes responsibility and accountability. And if people know where you live, they can come round with a wrench and tie you to a chair and threaten to murder your family unless you give them the keys to your private stash.
Is this a legitimate concern for you?
Most people don't really.
Is that a legit concern?
No, no, it's not. I've got systems set up where I can't even access my stuff anyway. But like, you know, an attacker doesn't know that off the bat.
Okay.
And they'll have to have extracted every single one of my fingernails and teeth before they realise that I'm actually probably telling the truth. So that's why I like to remain kind of low-key.
I remember some time ago you telling me, oh, Stef, I'm buying an NFT of this CryptoPunk, and I remember thinking you were mad.
Punks are the OG NFT, the original gangster NFT.
Yeah.
They were really the first PFP NFTs. So PFP means profile picture. And so you can almost see punks as having a revenue stream. You know, as a punk holder, if I get airdrop tokens, I'm free to do with those wish. I can sell them, I can keep them. And so, you know, punks consistently are being dropped onto them, free stuff. So they're quite compelling in that sense.
From what you're saying is it's not obviously just not the asset itself that you own. You're in a kind of exclusive club by owning this thing.
Correct.
Okay.
These are access tokens to very exclusive areas of the crypto universe. And so that can be whitelisting of other NFT drops or specific parts of the metaverse, for example, that only punks can gain access to. or even Discord communities at a more basic level, you need to prove that you own a punk, and then you can have access to one of these Discord communities. They are a real reflection of this idea of digital scarcity. And so when Satoshi Nakamoto came along and he developed Bitcoin, the true invention was that he solved this issue of digital scarcity. For the first time ever in our universe, we could have assets that were digital, but that could also be scarce. And so the moment you get scarcity in the digital world, you can start replicating structures and constructs of the physical world into the digital realm. And so digital scarcity is going to be very, very important to create true economies in the metaverse. You know, that's the other thing about crypto assets. They are global, permissionless, censorship-resistant networks. Anyone, anywhere in the world doesn't need permission from anyone else to participate in these networks and can't be blocked by any other agent or party from participating. And that is a very, very powerful thing.
So what my friend is saying is that an NFT is basically a door, and we're fixated on the fact that people are spending all this money on the door, and we're not thinking about the fact they're spending money on actually what is behind the door. It could be a community, it could be access, it could be a network, it could be exclusive access to a club, or who knows, anything in the digital realm could be behind that door. And that's how we have to think about NFTs, as doorways to utilities, as doorways to multiple different things, and stop thinking about the NFT as just, the image.
So let me give you a really simple example of how an NFT could benefit you in the metaverse, in a virtual world. So you step into this virtual world, you're in a beautiful metropolis with gardens floating around and parades going on, and you come across this club and it looks amazing, and all these people in there having a great time, and you think, God, that looks great. And they've got some amazing band playing or some amazing speaker talking, and you think, I want to get in there, I want to go to that club. So you go up to the door. Do you have the NFT for this club? You don't. Well, you can't have access. So it will create barriers or entry points for you in the metaverse. Say if you owned one of these Bored Ape things, you'll get into the Bored Ape Club, and who's in there? All these celebrities that can afford Bored Ape. So you're hanging around with all these celebs. Couldn't think of anything worse personally than bumping into Justin Bieber, but some people would love to bump into Justin Bieber. So that's just a simple example of a utility behind an NFT. Of course, it goes far deeper than that. You know, proof of ownership in these virtual worlds will be what drives the free market economy, and that's truly what I believe. So this NFT technology and blockchain technology is so important, I feel, that everyone really understands, because you're about to step into something which is going to change everything.
Our dream is to move beyond a simulated experience to a real experience.
Vario has pushed the boundaries of high-resolution mixed reality. By working with Vario, Unity continues to power the next level of photorealism and immersion for industrial design, simulation, training, and more.
Okay, I'll admit it. I do tend to get quite carried away and excited when it comes to all of this metaverse, Web3 and NFT stuff. We are very much still in the iron age of this right now. It's easy for me to get all these high resolution images of these futuristic cities and clubs going on and make it look like some sort of crazy visual experience. But in reality, Web3 right now is like iron age. It's like the first mobile phones that we used to get, the big bricks where you could just play Snake on it, and that's about it. So let's take a look at what one of the metaverses looks like right now, just to give you an idea of how, kitsch it all is. So this is Decentraland. Right, I'm going to jump down in this hole. I'm in some hole now. It's like being on ketamine, I imagine. I'm in a bar. I've got some octopus painting and making cocktails. I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I mean, it's just a bit blocky and awful. It's not somewhere I want to hang out, to be honest. I'm sure there's lots I can do in galleries I can visit, and bars I can go to, and casinos and stuff like that, but it just doesn't excite me very much. Yeah, I've only played it for like a minute and I'm bored stiff already. This doesn't excite me. In 5-10 years, this is what I'm hoping is going to happen. Me and about 6 of my buddies, we meet up once every couple of months and we play poker online, and we all kind of have a Zoom on one window and we have the poker table on the other, and it's really good fun. But within about 5 to 10 years, we're going to be sitting on the moon around a poker table playing poker with sexy dancers all dancing around us. Actually, no, there's no way Hannah would sign off on that. So no sexy dancers, but yeah, just like with, I don't know, people fighting around. No, maybe not fight, it'd be a bit stressful. I don't want people fighting around us. Jugglers. We'll have jugglers all. No, a bit distracting. You want to focus on the game. I don't know what I think about that. But yeah, we'll be sitting on the moon playing poker with all my buddies, seeing them, talking to them. Maybe if I slap one on the back and he's got a haptic suit on, he'll feel the slap. How amazing would that be? We might even finish playing poker and be like, you know what I fancy? I fancy fighting some intergalactic space Nazi zombies. And then we'll just start shooting up some space Nazis. Who doesn't want to fucking kill a space Nazi? In simple terms, Web3 is going to change the world in ways that we could not imagine, because there are no limits to our imagination in Web3. In order to make this video, I knew I needed to do something. I knew I needed to get my feet wet and get into this NFT world. So I bought into about 5 projects. I've lost money on 4 of them, and one of them has completely fucking ruined my life, to be honest. I'm going to get to that shortly. But what I've discovered while I've been in this murky NFT space is that it is a wild west, and it's full of charlatans, and it's unregulated and dangerous, and not somewhere where you can trust anyone. So what I want to do is I want to introduce you to a whistleblower, somebody who works on NFT projects, who helps to, knows all of the things that goes on in order to pump a project. So I want to have a little chat with him and see what he has to say about this murky underground world full of charlatans and liars.
Selling out a project, you're set to look to make about a minimum of 2 million, but some projects are making upwards of 20 million from just selling out. So wherever money goes, and large amounts of money like that, and seemingly look quick money, there'll be people that will do whatever they can to get it to that point as quickly as possible. They'll hire chat interactors or kind of like hype men for the chat, and they'll hire like people from Indonesia, their friends, whoever they can get. So you see all these people who are so positive and uplifted, and oh, this is amazing, this is going to be big, we're all going to make money, like even down to the phrases they make, the Wagami, which is, we're all going to make it.
Most, if not all, NFT projects will try to get you to join their Discord. It's the first thing that they try and do. And Discord, for those of you that don't know, is it consolidates the community and gives them like a chat room and ways to hear about what's going on in the project. So the first thing that the project want to do is get you over to their Discord, because then they've got you all somewhere. Something very conceited is going on in these Discords that not many people know about. And that is, there are people who are surreptitiously paid by the NFT projects to hype the project, to always be on the Discord, to always be in there hyping the project. Even if it's slumping and going downhill, they're there to constantly try and give it some momentum and get people not to sell, I suppose, and get people to keep buying into it, because they don't want the project to crash. So they pay these hype people to keep, to be so like mega positive about it all, which I find a little bit, conceited.
It preys on people who are uneducated or stupid or new to the game, or who have more money than they know what to do with. So if the project gets burned, they're going to be the ones that get burned.
Number 1 rule, just do never, ever, ever, ever read a DM telling you you're on a whitelist in Discord, because it's going to be a scam, and you're going to get scammed and you're going to lose money. So here's an example of the scammer DM that you get. I've been told here that I can mint one of these Invisible Friends NFTs. This is a project that I really like. They obviously know that I've followed them or something, so they know that I want one. They've told me I can mint them for 0.2 ETH, which is a few $100s, probably about $500 or $600 maybe, and I can get 10 of them. And I've got a link to go where I can buy them, sale-invisiblepriends.io, obviously all fake, all set up just to steal my money, basically. Yeah, and this is something that a lot of people fall for, including me.
I mean, in a reality, if I'm completely honest with you, NFTs are 90% of them are just very cleverly disguised Ponzi schemes, and it's all about getting in and getting out. People will make money up on the way up, and then people will lose a lot of money on the way down.
The friend I introduced you to earlier, the one with the crypto fund, he said something to me before I started this video. He said, Stef, be careful, because there is a very, very brutal expensive initiation stage that you have to go through when you start getting into this NFT space. I didn't really know what he was talking about, but now I do. Now I know what he was talking about, because there are so many tripwires everywhere and things that will catch you out, and scammers and things that you have to be aware of. And I'm hoping with this video, anyone that's going to get into this space will watch this and kind of be far more aware of the dangers out there. Okay. Anyway, what I want to do now is I want to show you a couple of the projects out there which I think are great, or ones that I've invested in, and just things that I think are just interesting. So firstly, I'm going to talk to you about probably the only NFT project I've not lost money on. This is Foxfam. Now there's an animation studio called Yum Yum Studios. I've been following them for years on Instagram, and I saw they were doing an NFT project, and they have all these little foxes. I thought they were super cute. Hannah thinks they're really creepy. I don't agree. Let me click on one of them here. I think you can get them for about, well, that one's $2,000. And the utility is quite simple. You own it for 6 months, and then they'll give you a 3D version. And their 3D versions, I reckon, are going to look awesome because they are incredible at 3D. So yes, this is the only project I've not lost money on. Now I want to talk to you about Doodles. Doodles is created by one of my favorite illustrators called Burnt Toast. I've been following him again for a long time on Instagram, and he's just done this incredible NFT collection. And they are now, the floor price of these things is 13.91 Ether, which equates to $45,000 is the cheapest one that you can buy. You may think, what do you get for that? Well, here's the thing. Not much by the looks of things. Each doodle allows its owner to vote for experiences and activations paid for by the Doodles community treasury. That means nothing. I don't know what you get. I don't think you get anything. I think you just get the doodle and that's it. And you get to say, I own this doodle. So this is why people want to get onto a whitelist, because if you were on the whitelist, you'd get to mint one of these things before it goes out to the public sale, which you're seeing here, probably for anywhere between $500 to $2,000 you could have minted one of these for, and now they're worth $45,000. So you can see why everyone is so desperate to get onto whitelists and get onto pre-sale, because that's where you can make a ton of money. So whenever you see people Instagramming or mentioning NFT projects on Instagram or Twitter, they're trying, normally 99% of the time, they're trying to hustle themselves onto a whitelist, because it's basically a license to print money if it's a project like this. Not all projects, but a lot of them are a license to print money. If you got onto the whitelist of Doodles, you bought 2 of them on the whitelist, 3 of them, man, yeah, you can see why people are so desperate. Here's one I lost quite a bit of money on. This is Prime Kong Planet. Very high resolution pictures of gorillas. I think I paid about 1.2 Ether, and it's since dropped to 0.2. So I've lost an ETH on that, which is about over $2,000. And this just goes to show you that you should never buy something really just because you love it. Because I just bought it because I thought this illustrator is so freaking good. His illustrations are such high quality. I'm going to buy one, but just off the back of that, and lost a lot of money on it. So yeah, that's another one that's cost me dear. But and again, all of these are learning curves. So all of these lessons I've learned have taught me. They're invaluable lessons as to what I should be looking at and what I shouldn't be looking at. Another one I've lost a few $100s on is Dead Army Skeleton Club. They're these just like little skeleton things. I thought it might take off, but it hasn't. It's just dived. I think I've lost about $400 on this one as well. I wish I didn't buy it. I kind of regret that. This project was hugely hyped. It's called Hape. I think a London studio actually make these guys. They're 3.7 Ether floor price now. I think they've dropped from about 7, so they're kind of tanking. Again, it's just one of those projects where it's all about hype. I don't think they really offer anything. They just kind of these, again, high resolution pictures of these ape things, and I think people bought them thinking that they might do a Doodles and rock it, but they haven't. They've been dying. I just think they look a bit naff. I don't think they look very cool. I think they're one of those things that are trying to be really edgy and cool, but I think they just look a bit shit. So yeah, glad I didn't get in on that. Bored Ape Yacht Club, 91 Ether floor price. That is ridiculous. Let me tell you how much that is. $296,000. And look at the state of it. It looks like something a GCSE art student would knock out. The design is freaking awful, but you're in the Bored Ape Club, and that's what you're buying. You're buying access to the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which is this. I don't even know if it is a club that exists right now, but it's a social flex, I think, and the ability to kind of show off that you have that amount of money. You see, the thing is about NFTs is that if you're a rich rapper, say, and you love showing off all your money, you can only really do that in a club or when you're driving past people in a nice car. If you do it in the digital universe, you can show infinitely more people how wealthy you are and how well off you are by investing in things like a digital ape, a crappy looking digital ape. Like, look at the state of this one. Does it haven't even rendered properly? His ears are sticking out of a freaking helmet. And look at that horrible logo on its that horrible like embossed thing on its helmet. They're just so bad. And that's $312,000. I mean, if you gave that to me, the first thing I would do is sell it to a fucking idiot that has enough money to buy it. I wouldn't want to have it just because it's embarrassing to own something like that. I wouldn't want that in my life. But everyone wants one in the NFT world. These are the thing to own. Doesn't make any sense to me. So there are a couple of projects out there that I think are interesting. I'm considering making a few more videos about NFTs and NFT projects. What I might do is not put them up on this channel. I might put them up on my other channel. I'll link it down below. It's just a channel which I haven't really nurtured in a while. It's my own channel, so I might just start sticking up more NFT stuff there. I'll be very honest about everything and not shill anything that I don't believe in. And just if you're interested in what other NFT projects I'm looking at or liking, or just want to hear my opinion on them, then you go and follow me down there. Yeah, I think that would be quite cool. But I want to now talk to you about the project which has ruined my life, the one that I've been teasing you about this whole video. Let's talk about that. It's going to be a painful. I'm going to put some sad music over this bit because it's made me very sad. So I've been emotionally affected by it, so I think you should be too. No, I luckily I've had this video to work on, and a lot of it has been, a lot of the turmoil that I've been dealing with has been directed into this video, which is helpful. I don't know what I would have done without this video because yeah, it's been a freaking weird few weeks. Craziest highs, lowest lows. Here's what happened. The first project I got into was something called Creeps. I just saw somebody post about it and I thought that looks like a cool design. I'm going to buy one. And I bought one of these lizards. I had no idea where it would take me or what would happen. It was just almost just like a bit of a test for this video. And then something crazy happened. The project blew up. And suddenly this little lizard that I paid about $1,000 for was within a week worth, I think about 20 to 30,000. And that just blew my mind. I thought I couldn't believe that I just turned $1,000 into 30,000. I was just over the moon, as you can imagine. But it got better because not only did this thing appreciate so much in value, but it was also yielding me money every day. They have their own coins in this thing, like it's this own kind of, it generates like a yield, a coin, its own coin. And I get 5,700 of these coins a day because I have a little lizard and I have some stuff in my armory. Now that 5,700, I can, if I wanted to exchange that, I can go to Uniswap, change that Lumi into Ether, which is worth $1,721 a day. This lizard is making me $1,721 a day. Now, I don't know how long this is going to last for. The problem is with every high in life, it has to be balanced out. You have to balance that high out with some sort of low. And the low came when the project released some new parts of the game, these things called shapeshifters. I was watching it all happen in my office, and all of a sudden, the token, which this project is bound to, just dived. It dived from 60 cents down to, I think, about 20 cents. And it's since been dying ever since, and now got down to about 2 cents. So everything that I made in the project, I put back into it, plus more. So I now am down. I have a few assets in the game which I could sell probably and make some of it back, but I'm so down now because I put so much back into it. I just thought this train had more momentum. I thought it's going to keep going. I was like, this is just what happens in the NFT world. We just get rich. It's not how it works. So the moral of the story, I guess, is that like, don't think that this is just like some sort of quick win world to be in, because there's a certain learning process to it, which is very expensive and very painful and very emotionally taxing, because you're so emotionally connected to the project's success or failure, because that's your money's on the line. And it's so fast moving and so dynamic that things can change instantly. As I saw with that drop from the Lumi coin going from 60 cents and just diving off a cliff, everything can change within an instant. You can be hugely up one day and then an hour later everything crashes and it's all gone. It's really complicated, toxic relationship I have with this NFT world. On one hand, I think it's one of the most fascinating, interesting things that I've ever come across. But secondly, how consumed I am by it. And my friends who I hang out with, they see it in me. They're like, Stef, you don't seem the same. You seem like vacant and distant and down. And that's how I feel all the time. I just feel constantly down because I'm so connected to this Creeps project failing so badly. And I just really want it to take off again so I can not make such a loss. I think it's so hard because for a small time there, I just felt something that my whole life I've wanted to feel. I need to just, yeah. Anyway. Wowzers! Well, that was a bit different, wasn't it? A lot of you guys have been watching us for some time, maybe thinking, what the hell just happened there, Stef? What was that? Where did you take me? What kind of crazy journey was that, man? Yeah, I thought I'd try something a bit different. I'll let you know if it turns a corner, this Creeps project. I'm thinking it will. We're still early stages. There's 4 seasons to the game. We're only in the first season. I'm thinking it may be slumping now, but I think we can pull it back. I've got confidence in the developers. I'll let you know if it does pull itself back. And I'll also let you know if any of the other projects I invested in somehow turn a corner and well, don't cause such a loss. I'd love to know what you think of this whole NFT world. Do you think it's all a Ponzi scheme, or do you find it some sort of fascinating digital renaissance? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you thought of the video. I'd love to know what you thought of this week's video. I know it's very different, but I still appreciate your opinion on it. Unless it's mean. Don't be mean. I can't handle it. I've got very low self-esteem and I need positive affirmations to give me some sort of sense of self-worth because I'm very lost within myself. I'm not religious or don't have too many, I don't have much of a kind of a, I don't know, I wish I was Jewish or something, or I wish I had something like a community around me, but I'm just like some fucking atheist who just has a few mates. I want like something. I don't have that. I lack a community. I lack a tribe. You know, I want a little tribe of people around me. I'm lonely. What am I talking about? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm on the NFT train. I'm tooting the horn. If you want to follow me, see where it's headed, then follow me down there below in the doobly-doo. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and also my other YouTube channel where I will be uploading more NFT-related content, where I'll be looking at different NFT projects and talking about the ones that I'm in and what's happening in the NFT world. If you want to know more about that stuff or you're interested in it, follow me down there, baby. And we'll ride the train together. You hop on. I'll put you in first class. You deserve it. You got to the end of this week's video. It's the least I could do. Thank you very much. It's been fun. I've loved making this video. I hope you liked it. It's a long one too. 30-something minutes. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you all soon. Goodbye.